PennsPeakRadio.com.
Listen, we got the Nuge, the one and only, on the phone and on the show right here at Penns Peak Radio, and we are certainly happy to have you back here in Pennsylvania for the show, man.
Doc, I can feel the happiness, but your happiness can't touch my happiness. I'm about to squirt through the phone and stain you with butt fluid. I'm so happy. I love playing my rock and roll. Have you ever noticed that?
Just a little. Ever since I was playing 8 tracks when the first music started coming out in the field house, when we used to get fired up with cat scratch fever before we'd go out and kick some ass on the football field.
Well, of course you did. That's how you kick ass, because the law of the land and the American dream is either you kick ass or you get your ass kicked.
Absolutely.
I don't know anything about the latter, just the former. But anyhow, Doc, thanks for having me on Penns Peak Radio. Let me tell you, the boys are so excited. We love playing every night. We put our heart and soul into everything. Greg Smith on bass guitar, Mick Brown on drums. Dear God in heaven, help us all.
Derek's back?
That magic, soulful voice from Motown, Derek St. Holmes, is back singing Stranglehold and Hey Baby, just what the doctor ordered, and we love playing every night. But knowing we're come to the Fred Bear epicenter of Penns Peak, the spirit at Penns Peak is dangerous. I love the attitude and spirit out there, so we're really excited about coming back.
You know what you have done, man, since it all started, man, as a lead guitarist and been following you ever since with the Amboy Dukes, and before embarking on that lengthy solo career, which is stronger than ever. Let me tell you something, man. Being an activist, having every true-blooded American born in a hospital and a gun placed in their hand, I am all for it, man.
Doc, you and I are blood brothers, and that's why this tour is so powerful. That's why my career cannot be stopped by the gun grabbers and the anti-hunters and the animal rights goons in the music industry, because my music it reeks of spirit and defiance and attitude and the real American way to play real American rhythm and blues and rock and roll. Doc, maybe you can tell me the greatest rock song to come out of France.
The great.
She can't play rock and roll. My point being is that the boys are so excited. This is the best tour of my life, and as you know, that's really, really saying something, because I've had the most fun of any guitar player in the world. I've always been surrounded by the world's best musicians, and not only are my musicians the most gifted and passionate about the music, but they're just great gentlemen. They're just monster work ethic, productive, being the best that they can be every song, every concert, every night, every jam, every day. So when we get to Penns Peak and we play, Great White Buffalo and Stranglehold and Wango Tango and Free for All and Dog Eat Dog, it's unbelievably wonderful and powerful. But when we play Fred Bear, for all my hunting buddies and all the people that know that we, the people in America, have a duty to earn our American dream.
That's right.
Being engaged, being an activist, communicating with our elected officials, and demanding that we, the people, be heard. Believe me, there's a fire in the air whenever we play in Pennsylvania, the land of Fred Bear, and I want to thank everybody for that.
You get me fired up with your dialogue and everything else, and you're passionate. I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is not an act. You are passionate. I mean, I didn't have to read this on the Nuge News, although I stay on top of it, but you earned one hell of a standing ovation at the 140th NRA annual meeting and exhibits in Pittsburgh, PA, just out west from us. It was unbelievable with your I Still Believe speech.
Well, the name of the song, the name of the tour, and the name of my American dream literally can be summed up in the words, I still believe. I still believe that the Founding Fathers knew that free people couldn't be under the control and the oppression of kings and tyrants and dictators, and that there's only one experiment in self-government where we have God's individually given rights to keep and bear arms and to be free to speak and choose our own religion and to be free from government oppression and to have privacy and have security in our own pursuit of happiness. And at the NRA, those self-evident truths are absolutely volatile, tangible, and a celebration of self-evident truth and honesty in the American way. So when I get all these votes on the board of directors of the NRA for all these years, and I get that kind of enthusiasm and support, my God, I become more dangerous by the minute. So I'm on fire this year. Doc, here's the great thing. this is the greatest tour of my life, and I just know,
that's great,
based on the fawn crop and all the critters on my properties in Texas and Michigan and all the different states that I hunt in, this is going to be the greatest hunting season of our life. I'm just so pumped up for 2011, I can hardly stand.
I took my son out. When he was 12 years old with the first bow in his hand and bagged an 8-pointer. He does better than his father, for God's sakes, man.
Wow! Congratulations!
I'm telling you, man.
It took me a long time to kill a buck with my bow and arrow, but I think I've caught up. Congratulations! You're a great father, Doc. I salute you.
I'll tell you, my kids hunt. I have one. Here's something for guts for you. I have 121, and then going into the police academy, which I also know that you're like a reserve police officer as well.
Yeah, actually, I'm a full-time deputy sheriff in Michigan, and I'm also a constable in the state of Texas.
How about that? So don't get in trouble there, because he will shoot you, and I'm all for that too. So I have 121, and I have one that's going to turn 4. How's that for a little bit of guts?
Good.
And
I got them from 42 to 17.
You, baby. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, but you know what? We go for walks in the woods. I take my 4-year-old. We walk in the woods. We point out things. This is what the little squirrels do. This is what the chipmunks do. This is what we're going to hunt. This is the tree stand we're going to sit in. I mean, this is what we do. And you know what? Being out there, I still think I love what you did for us a couple of years ago when you gave us a Penn Speak radio liner. Why the hell aren't we allowed to hunt on Sundays? God gave us Sundays.
Unbelievable, Doc. Well, God bless you for that, because that's the duty. That's the moral and spiritual and intellectual obligation of a parent, is to teach children about how God has made this miraculous creation to provide us with food, shelter, clothing, spirit, medicine, quality air, soil, and water. So that's the hunting lifestyle. I attribute the intensity, the joys, the celebration of my rock and roll career is a direct result of my higher level of awareness as a hunter, a fisherman, and a trapper. And if anybody listening right now thinks they can outrock Ted Nugent, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
And until your belly is full of venison and your soul is full of spirit of the great outdoors, and you celebrate the spirit of the wild as a natural, hands-on conservationist, hunting, fishing, trapping, and teaching your children the discipline of firearms marksmanship and safe gun handling, until you've done that, you're missing the greatest parental responsibilities and joys available to mankind. And I got to tell you, Doc, I know you come, but I welcome everybody to come to tednugent.com. You can get a free download of our new I Still Believe and I Love My Barbecue songs. Plus, you can see all the hunting trips that we book and guide and outfit every year. And, Doc, every year, hundreds of American families join us at sunrise safaris on different hunts across the land. And most of them, Doc, are brand-new hunters that are seeking that spiritual upgrade, that higher level of awareness. So God bless them all. But come to tednugent.com, and you can book a hunt with the whole Nugent family, and we have so much fun. It's insane.
Wow, that is great. Maybe I might even do that. Maybe I'll take my oldest son on that. Man, that might be a great idea. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because that could be a great idea. Great idea. And I'll tell you, speaking of hunting, though, too, #1 hunting show on the Outdoor Channel. Listen, 4 times and counting, I believe. Now, that I didn't know it was 4 times, but I got that off the Nuge News. But I've watched the show. Let me tell you something. Spirit of the Wild, absolutely awesome show. The intensity that's there, the passion that Ted has is, I'll tell you what, man, it's just freaking contagious.
Well, Doc, the reason people love our Spirit of the Wild show, #1, because Mrs. Nugent comes on there as often as possible.
Yep.
I know how to get ratings. She's so beautiful, and she's such a killer.
Yeah.
She's such a beautiful bow hunter. But ultimately, the reason Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild is the #1 show on Outdoor Channel is because we don't produce a hunting show. We just film the way we live.
Yep.
I get more excited making a good shot on a little doe than some of these idiots do when they shoot a giant record book buck. I don't get it, Doc. It's about the backstrap of the spirit.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I say that all the time. I mean, my gosh, sometimes my son, after getting a couple of buck and nice ones, is going, I think I'm going to wait for one. I said, get it for the venison. It was a beautiful deer. Shoot.
Backstrap, baby. Yeah, Spirit of the Wild is a documentary TV show, and you know, not only that, but I'm so inspired by the heroes of the military who share our campfires with us. We try to say thank you for their incredible sacrifices. So I have made a vow, and I know you have too, Doc, that knowing that the U.S. military warriors are sacrificing their legs and their arms and their eyeballs and their skin, and many of those military families have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice. When I salute a flag-draped coffin I increase my vow and intensify my vow that I will use the freedoms as a we the people experimenter and self-government American to put to use the freedoms as provided by the blood and guts and lives of the heroes of the U.S. military.
Yep.
So I hope everybody out there is a member of the NRA, because that's how you protect freedoms from the bureaucrats who would turn us into Indonesia because the Mao Zedong fan club is in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
They hate gun owners. They hate freedom. They hate America, and we have to clean house. And that's why my music is so intense, because I didn't know it when I wrote it.
Yep.
Stranglehold is the soundtrack to defiance, and we will get these anti-American punks in a stranglehold and send them packing, because they do better in Indonesia because they've already got a train wreck there. And if they like Indonesia, I'd recommend they move there.
I so agree. I can reiterate everything you're saying because I say it on my radio show every day, and this goes for people that think this country has problems, and yes, we have some problems, but you know what? It's still the best damn country in this world, and if you don't like it and try to make the changes you're talking about, kindly get on a plane and get the hell out of here.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I see a great growth and a great improvement and upgrade in We the People activism. So all the NRA members out there and all the citizens who are communicating with your governor, you got a nice new governor who's headed in somewhat the right direction in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
He would legalize Sunday hunting, because here's a little notice to everybody. Once again, I shall repeat it for the brain dead who can't grasp truth and the American way. Americans own 7 days a week. They belong to we the people. The First Amendment is about freedom of religion, and we sacrifice lives to get freedom of religion. How dare an American citizen tell another American citizen what is legal during a legal time period of the year, like the legal hunting season? How dare some anti-American tell another American what they can do on Sundays? That is insanity.
Yeah. And it's so true. So true. I don't know. I don't understand it either, but we're going to stay at it. Do what the Nuge says. NRA memberships. Get in touch with these people that are in the big house. You know, do what you can. Become an activist. And I'm all about it. Look, your sentiments, I echo them every day right here on the show.
You and I are addicted to logic. We have examined the evidence, and we don't guess what the truth is. History shows us what the truth is. And for a president to be sitting in the White House that wants to fundamentally transform the greatest quality of life into a piss hole like Europe or Canada or Indonesia, where he thinks, communism and giving sleepy people, keeping people who choose not to be productive, the income of people who get up early and bust their ass. This is indecent. Our president is indecent. Communism has never worked, and for someone to be so stupid to want to try communism again is unforgivable. We got a clean house, and I hope by 2012, November of 2012, I hope Americans rise up and demand that the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Ten Commandments, and the Golden Rule, and common sense and truth and logic once again rule this country, not some clueless gangster communist community organizer from Chicago.
Man, you sound like me. I get so wound up here, and all the other staff knows that with things that I do on the show, and I'm not on the phone talking to Ted Nugent and doing an exclusive that I'm going to agree with him either. But you know what? I do, because it's common sense logic, ladies and gentlemen, what we talk about here on this show all the time. Common sense logic. This show.
I'm traveling all across this great country, and what you and I know to be the truth and logic, being the best that you can be, choosing to be productive, not to be a bloodsucker. Bloodsucking is a choice. For people in America to have the soullessness to actually claim there's a list of jobs they're not willing to do, that there is a segment of America that is actually admitted, like a bunch of spineless sheep, that they've given up looking for jobs? Are you kidding me? Did we somehow inherit a bunch of French people in this country? How embarrassing is that? So all I can say is I hope America grows some balls and a spine, gets to be more honest, and realizes that being the best that you can be is the American dream, not hanging out.
Thanks for everything. A safe trip, really, man. And I'll tell you what, Godspeed. We'll look for you in about a month.
Godspeed and God bless, Doc. God bless America, man.
See you later, buddy.
Keep the spirit.
Will do.
EnsPeakRadio.com